I won't come back in here again. You understand that? This trial is a joke.
Where's the winner?
Loud, clear voice and keep this statement. Shut up, bitch. Shut up, bitch. Where's the money? Where's the money? Where's the jewelry? Where's the jewelry?
Standing there in front of Mr. Ramirez really has no standing before the court.
That's you to me.
Mr. Kelton is going to continue with his childish acting to the court in front of the cameras. I would have to take him outside and teach him a lesson.
Just a minute.
Thank you.
Hail Satan.
To death in the gas chamber.
There was never any doubt that Richard Ramirez would be sentenced to death, so there were no surprises until Ramirez himself chose to speak.
I don't need to hear all of society's rationalization. I've heard them all before, and the fact remains that what is. You don't understand me. You are not expected to. You are not capable of. I am beyond your experience. I am beyond good and evil.
Under California law, this death sentence will be automatically appealed to the state Supreme Court.
How do you feel? That's always went with the territory. I'll see you in Disneyland.
They say fingerprints have linked Ramirez to the murder of a 79-year-old woman.
Are you rolling? Yeah. Cool. Okay. We had her in a room, and we sat down. So the bride is wearing white.
Right. I'm entitled to. I can wear it honestly.
You have the wedding bands with you.
Yes.
And they're very simple. Maybe you can describe them and what inspired you to get them.
Mine is just a simple 14-karat gold band. And his is platinum, which was his request. And considering that's his only request about the wedding, I was only too happy to get that done for him. And we engraved them. Whoops.
And what do they say?
His to me says, "To my one and only love, Richard." And mine to him says, "I love you forever, Doreen." And we can exchange these tomorrow.
So can you honestly say, and look deep into your heart, into your soul, that you love this man?
Oh, with all my heart. More than anything.
Does he love you?
Oh, he loves me. I know. I feel his love. It's really the only thing I have to cling to. And I do.
Is this love?
Well, you know, it's relative in a sense, but I do believe that she's totally in love with him, smitten by him. Does he love her?
Does he love her?
I think he trusts her more than anybody in the world, more than his own family. He knows she would do anything for him. If he said lie down on the railroad track, she would. And she wouldn't ask why. And she'd keep her eyes open and watch the train coming.
You touched for the first time last month. What was that like for you?
It was amazing. It was almost like a dying person in the desert, and there was a mirage, and I was afraid if I touched him, he would disappear. But he didn't. He didn't disappear. It was wonderful. We had our first embrace, and he was warm and strong, and just, it was wonderful.
Doreen is somebody who, for years, has taken pride in saving herself for her wedding night. And there is such irony in the fact that there are no conjugal visits allowed for inmates on death row. And so this is another thing that she's willing to give up for Richard.
Is your family going to be in attendance at the wedding?
No.
They don't support you in this, do they?
Well, they're entitled to their opinion. I don't hold it against them at all. If they can, it's very difficult. But I have the support of Richard's family. They're totally supportive. So to me, that's a trade-off and then a compromise.
But there are many who would look at Richard Ramirez in the eye and say, he is the face of evil.
I can't help the way the world looks at him. They don't know him the way I do. I see sides to him that they don't see.
Do you believe he committed the crimes?
No, not at all. Not at all. I believe in his innocence.
It would be easy to look at Doreen and say, she's gullible, she got swept up into the serial killer frenzy. Or you could say, as an editor, she was part of creating that narrative to speak in his defense and to convince the world of his innocence. And finally, after all these years of her hard work, she earned the ultimate prize, which was to be the bride of the Nightstalker.
Tell me about the LA trial. Do you think he got
it? It was a kangaroo court. It was a facade. It was a sham. I was railroaded.
Ramirez does seem to find much happiness behind bars, where he carries himself as a kind of rock star killer. Ramirez even has his own groupies, a small band of very devoted women who over the years have uprooted their lives to visit, to be near, to attend to the needs of Richard Ramirez. Even one of the female jurors who convicted Ramirez of the 13 murders in Los Angeles now visits him in jail. Now she says she flies up frequently to San Francisco to be with the convicted killer.
Why won't you answer our questions?
I have friends. That is all I care to say, really. They are open-minded people.
And apparently, at least 2 of his female followers are now locked in an ongoing and at times violent battle with one another.
When I went in to visit him, I decided that I was not going to look at all the things he had done.
She told the Secret Service she wanted to marry him and have a baby with him.
I talked to the Secret Service and they didn't want to talk about this at all.
She hates me for some reason. She started calling me on the phone. I didn't start calling her, giving her death threats.
Would you ever hurt her?
No.
You wouldn't?
Mm-mm.
You've never threatened her?
Mm-mm.
I am doing research to produce a documentary on the death penalty. I just wish the woman would leave me alone.
Do you think it's a little strange that these women are coming to see you?
No, because the majority is not necessarily correct. People might think that, but what makes the majority correct, right? It's not always, correct in assuming that. People in this day and age are brainwashed and programmed like a computer at being nothing more than puppets. This nation, this country is founded in violence. Violent delights tend to have violent ends. Madness is something rare in individuals, but in groups, people, and ages, it is a rule. Killing is killing, whether done for duty, profit, or fun. Men murdered themselves into this democracy.
You got railroaded, you're saying. But people are going to hear that and say, here's a guy that not only won't fess up, but he continues to feel sorry for himself. Raped, murdered elderly people in their beds.
I definitely do not feel sorry for myself. I am beyond caring.
But when it comes to his own life, Richard Ramirez seems to care very much. So he and his new lawyers will continue their many lengthy appeals, making it more likely that Ramirez will die of old age before he dies in the gas chamber.
That's it. Thank you.
I don't really care because to me death is death.